Mark, so I'm going to get right into the Packers questions for you. Obviously, nice career. July, I think, is your birthday, and that's when Ed Policy is going to be taking over. 2 questions. Outside of the Super Bowl, favorite accomplishment that you pulled off, and then the one I think might be more interesting, which one after the fact you're like, oh, I should have done this? Or like, if you could have one redo in your career, what would it have been?
All right, well, I'll be positive.
Yeah, let's go positive, negative.
I would say, obviously, you're right, Super Bowl, but I'd say just the consistent success.
Right.
It's hard to win in the NFL, and the fact that we've been able to, consistently be in contention, that's been, and obviously, I think the changes we've made to Lambeau Field and the area around it, particularly with Titletown, is something we're really proud of. I guess early on, the situation that we dealt with Brett Favre, I don't know if it was early in my tenure, probably could have done some things differently there, but
Gotcha.
didn't realize, I knew that it was a big deal. Well, it's funny because it was actually a lot of this occurred when we were on our tailgate tour.
Yeah.
So this would have been in 2008. It was my first few months on the job, and Favre unretires, and so we're on the tailgate tour, and literally we had tens of reporters every single place we went chasing us and asking questions, and I don't think I realized the magnitude of right away. Coming from having been at Colgate and Northwestern, just not quite the same level of interest.
Right.
So
hold up, I will say. It's funny you don't realize like the impact or level of interest of it. I met my wife in 2009, and my first question after "What's your name?" is, "How do you feel about? Are you a Packer fan? And how do you feel about Brett Favre?" And that answer decided. She was like, "I loved what he did with the Packers. I hate that he went." This is after he had just gone to Minnesota, so I was like, "Oh, that's a great answer. I think we should go out sometime."
So when it wasn't exactly the same, but when Rodgers, everything came through with that, did you feel like, oh, here we go again?
I've seen this before.
Or you're like, I know, I got the blueprint.
Yeah, seen this movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, each situation is a little different and unique. But I would say that there is an old saying in the NFL that the best time to draft a quarterback is when you don't need one.
Yep.
And another good saying, and these are truisms that do hold true because the test of time has shown it out. But so as I mentioned, the best time to draft one is when you don't need one. And then I'm forgetting the other one, and it'll come right to me.
So we're just 15 days away from the NFL draft being in Green Bay. I mean, what does the excitement level in Green Bay look like?
The excitement level is unbelievable. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good.
No, it's and being on the tailgate tour, everybody is obviously every stop people are asking about the draft, and really it's exciting not just for Green Bay but the entire state.
I'm curious from a back room perspective, because obviously when you're watching the draft on TV, you get to see all the executives, everything coming together, being excited about their draft picks and everything. How early do you know who you want to pick? Obviously, your pick could come off the board, and then you got to figure out the next best thing. But how early do you kind of make those decisions?
It's really fascinating. And when I was a player, I always wondered what was it like in the draft room. And my position now, I'm able to be there. It's really fluid, and you can see the board, and I have great respect, obviously, for Ted Thompson and now what Brian Gutekunst is able to do. But I think they both were good poker players. They keep the cards close, but you can kind of see when how the board is going, and there's been one of the challenges is if the board isn't as good as they think, they'll trade down because then you can get 2 picks, and so it's really fascinating to see how quickly it. Did you ever watch the movie Draft Day?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was obviously there's not the romance involved or whatever, but there was some truth to it.
talking with Mark Murphy.
So I did remember the other saying in the NFL is, and it's not just quarterbacks, but although it holds true there, is it's better off moving on from somebody a year too early than a year too late. And it's kind of it's cruel reality of the NFL, but that there's a lot of, especially with the salary cap now and the difficult decisions you have to make. Yeah.
Do you ever like get in your GM's ear like, I really like this guy, or is it just like, you got it?
Yeah, no.
I have no say in it, no veto power either.
Yeah,
I gotta want him.
No, and the rumor that I have told Brian that he cannot trade out of the first round is not true.
Right. I actually joked about it. I was like, there's no way they trade out of it. It's in Green Bay.
Matt was feeling that rumor. He's like, I'm a Packer fan. I gotta have the pick.
No, it's funny. Well, Brian, I went up to Brian after that, and I said, Brian, if you think the best thing for the Packers is to trade out of the first round, do it. We'll probably get booed, but
yeah, I know you might.
You're in a unique position, obviously, president, CEO, but you're at the owners' meetings. The rest of the league, nobody's set up like the Packers. Looking back, and I think you had a quote about this of like, you're at these owners' meetings without the owner's pocketbook. But what was it like navigating those rooms with all of those billionaires and those owners of teams as you're representing the Packers as essentially their owner, but it's such a different dynamic?
Yeah, it's a couple things. I'd say I think there is a level of respect for the Packers. Number one, for the success that we've had on the field, but also I think from a financial standpoint, have been fairly successul. I think a lot of the owners don't like the fact that all of our financials are made public. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
But no, it's I mean, my wife calls me a phoner, an FAUX nerd. It's like an owner without the money.
Okay.
But no, I think we are. The Pack. They're just viewed differently. I mean, it's just the reality of it that we're a different organization. And really, there's not any. And of all the professional sports in the United States, there's not one that's similar. CFL. There's a few CFL teams that are community owned the way we are.
So I gotta ask, because Jim brought up the owners meeting, and if you just want to like veto the question, feel free. Can you give us any insight onto the Tush push? We've talked about it a lot on our show.
Yeah,
obviously.
I am a hated man in Philadelphia.
I can imagine.
No, it ended up. Well, first of all, I don't think it's a good play. I don't think it's good for the game.
I think it's boring.
It's boring. There haven't been a lot of injuries coming out of it because there's just a pretty small sample size, but. The chief medical officer of the NFL, a man named Alan Sills, has really serious concerns about just the nature of the play, the way bodies come together, and what he had said is it's just a matter of time that there'll be a catastrophic injury. But and also it's kind of the pace of play; it just slows everything down.
Right.
I don't know if you saw in the NFC championship game when. What's
what
the name? Frankie looked like.
Yeah, they almost got a free touchdown. It was crazy.
Oh, I know. The official was, we're going to award them a touchdown.
Uh-huh.
But